Welcome back everyone to Piney Plays Lore Master. Last time we demonstrated that there is a big difference between need not be fatal and completely not fatal, where one of our companions got bitten by a spider, and apparently that spider's venom is pretty strong. So we need to find a sac from the species of spider that caused it, and unfortunately the Scuttle's regular variety spiders just aren't the right variety. So we have to go deeper inside to find this spider we seek. And we'll need one of those, plus we'll need a very rare flower. And it's the rare flower that we're going after right now, because they only grow in barrows, and look at this. Now apparently this particular flower is only found in barrows, only found in Mirkwood, and only grows at particular times of the year. Now when you consider that what time of year it is right now, if you think about it, that we are in Mirkwood right now, and if you consider the timeline of the story, you'll note that this is February. That is definitely not my intention there. Oh, come on. Ah! You had to resist. I don't like it when I face these crazy gauntmen. Yes. They always inevitably give me trouble. Alright, now where were we? Oh, getting rid of the fright. But yes, so we have the flower that only blooms in February. How many flowers bloom in February? And for that to be considered late at the end of the season, that means it's a flower that either blooms only in February or blooms in the winter. So it's a winter bloom. That's a strange type of flower to be peculiar to Mirkwood, I would think. Alright, there we go. But then it only likes corpses, so maybe something about the corpses in the area have just the right minerals or something like that in February due to the chemistry of the soil. And that's what allows it to bloom. And if the nature of Mirkwood makes it matter less about the exact heat or cold of it, because the amount of light probably is not particularly significant, because I'm sure this isn't exactly the lightest part of Mirkwood, and Mirkwood isn't exactly known as the lightest forest, and forests aren't exactly the lightest type of landscape. So yeah, we don't call it Mirkwood for giggles. It's called Mirkwood because it's murky and dark. So yes, the amount of sunlight doesn't matter. Perhaps that makes a difference. So I would think there'd be fewer trees where the graves are. But then again, over the years, I presume that trees might start overgrowing the area. Whatever is the case, we have our flower, and now we must go deep into Mirkwood to those black venom spiders that we wound ourselves all the way up to before when we were getting unmarked sacks, because one of those is the exact sac that we're going to be needing in order to get this anti-venom. I would think, though, with all those thousands of years of elf lore, that they could have found an anti-venom. Oh, there we go. Collected in Mark Southall venom sac. That with all those thousands of years, they would have found another anti-venom somewhere in their store of knowledge. Perhaps this one is the most effective against very bad bites, and that others do exist, but they're not as helpful when it's a really, really nasty bite from the most powerful of its kind. I suppose. Now let's deliver the sack. Cereal looks like she's still alive, though definitely not in good shape.
You found the components.
Good! Fine! Barvisan! She can make the antidote! She is somewhere in Osgaloth! Alright, I will see to it. Well, I don't know how Mazog is, but who cares? Somewhere in Osgaloth is, of course, rather vague, though I suppose that Isuriel hasn't been in the shape to keep up with that type of information. I believe you need to go up, 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 and even more up. Good grief. I'm surprised that these timbers are still in good enough shape for it not to collapse beneath my feet. But here we are, Minas Kelebov. Alright. Hello there.
A sherry glass flower? How did you find this?
These bloom so rarely and under such specific circumstances. Yes. Lydris it is called, and I can brew it from these ingredients immediately. But there will be enough for only one dose. I hope it won't be a problem. I hope it won't be a problem. Wonderful! Here you go, Cereal. I have the antidote.
No, I will not take it.
You must give it to Mazog, or the hidden guard has failed. Really? All that trouble to save this orc. And unfortunately the orc is still alive, so I can't use that as an excuse. Hey, no, never mind. Mazog is visibly ill, his body weakened from the effects of the Grigal poison. Still, he manages to sneer as you give him the Lydris antidote. Gofragis! Oh well. Well, he's taking care of that. I guess he'll recover.
I have nothing to say to you. Leave us.
I cannot understand how we have come to this point, saving the life of a filthy orc and allowing a friend to tell Gringalas outside the door that no one is to come into Garogar. I want no one disturbing Isuriel. She needs rest. The scout should also be recalled in preparation for the exchange of Mazog. Alright, fine. First he yells at me, then he gives me orders. Hello there. They asked that they not be disturbed inside.
I understand. We are all doing everything we can.
I will allow no one to enter Garogar. We're doing everything we can. Very well.
The Maladrim sent scouts ahead to spy the lay of the land.
Yes, and we will want to know what they have learned and have them return here before we bring Mazog the rest of the way to the gates of the fortress. Seek out the scouts, Lamwin, Suthil, and Legland in the wild lands of Gothburs, east of here, and before the walls of Dol Guldur. Tell them to return and that the final leg of the Hidden Guard's mission will be undertaken. With the information of these scouts, we will be best prepared for the to effect the exchange of Mazog for the dwarf prisoners. All right then. let us head into Guthburs. Though, it might be a good idea for me to make a little side trip into Thongohad as I do it, because that stable master will come in handy later. And here we are at Thongohad. Dark place, but right now it is filled with elves who have taken over. Alright, there we go. And I just want to
What do you need?
tag that. I don't think I need any of the quests here yet, but who knows. I decided it's not the right time to take any of those quests, so I am heading straight for the scouts now. And I think I found one. I also found a warg. Hello there, we are recalling the scouts.
The Ashen Slades are blasted and dead, and the stench of evil is everywhere.
You have met me on my way back from the southern marshes among the Ashen Slades. The land there is blasted and dead, and the stench of evil is everywhere. It appears that Gorthol has trained evil men in the arts he learned from his own master. They are seeking to bind fell spirits to their service on the far reaches of the Ashen Slades. I'll return to Oscaloth with my report of that place. Very well. And in fact, that is going to become important in the next chapter of the story. So let us speak with the next scout who is nearby, since the first scout was just passing near. Hello there, what's the current status? And scouts are now being recalled.
I will return to Ostgalath at once.
There has not been a great deal of activity beyond the walls of Dol Guldur, Pine Wolf. By now, they are surely aware of the Golden Host. Do they suspect any of its real purpose, I wonder? It is a great offensive, true, but do they suspect that we do not seek victory? That we are drawing their eyes to a point of our choosing, rather than theirs? I will return to Oscaloth at once. It is to be hoped that we have not alarmed the enemy overmuch, and we will catch them unaware in all respects. For that we will have to see. Now, the next scout is up to the north. And that's always the tricky one to find, because I really didn't have to dodge any mobs for the first two, but the third one usually requires either dodging or blasting anything that's in between us. And speaking of blasting, I think I'm going to blast this warrior, mainly because I'm just about to hit 64. And I thought it'd be best to do that on screen, right? Right. And besides, I don't want them to go around disturbing me as I try to go through and they jump my back or anything like that. But I've got quite a journey up ahead. The third scout is checking out the various camps in Gothburs, which makes them really tricky here. Hello there, they're recalling the scouts.
It seems likely that Gothburs will serve as the staging area for the armies of Dol Guldur.
From my exploration, it seems most likely Gothburs will serve as a staging area. There are a number of camps here, but the orcs are fortunately not yet massing here in great numbers. I'll return to Oscaloth and share what I have learned. And now it is time for me to get back to Oscaloth. I have recalled the scouts.
Your friend, the dwarf Broin? He cannot be found.
Akadar gave me a message for you, Pine Wolf. Your friend, the dwarf Broin. He cannot be found. He has been missing ever since you left to recall the scouts. Akardor does not want to wait for him. He says that he wants to be rid of Mazog at once and have the errand completed. Speak with me when you are ready, and I will bring you to the hidden guard so that you can discuss the matter with them. All right, let us go and take care of this exchange. But that will be for the next episode of Piney Plays, The Lore Master.